Hello class, this is Dr. Taylor and I want to give a brief overview of this course. There were several people who were unable to attend or had difficulty with the Zoom video, so I decided to just record a quick video. The course room itself, everything starts from the home page. This is the home page right here. Announcements will usually be listed on the top. As you scroll down the home page, you'll see different links that are important, especially for academic writing, the syllabus, discussions, etc. We go to each module using the list here, so let's just click on Module 1. When you do double click on the module, it should open up, and everything that you need to know and do for that week should be listed on the module. You can go to Content Overview for more information on each in each module. I would ask you for this first module to pay particular attention to the foundational article, which is the U.S. Vets Unique Health Issues. And inside this particular website, there is an embedded video right here, which I showed in class. And for anybody who was not in class, I would ask that you watch that. There's a lot of other really good information in the, as far as evidence-based practice in the literature, PowerPoints, good overviews, good information for you to review for your clients that you will be interviewing, and of course resources and links. As you scroll down, there's always videos that are very, very helpful for you, and they are always associated with the content of that particular module. Continue to scroll down. You'll see assignments that would be due for that week and the completed module checklist to help you be assured that you did everything you needed to do for the week before you move on to the next module. So since we're doing modules 1 and 2, let's go back to the home page and click on Module 2. Module 1 introduced you to military health. Module 2 focuses on the veteran culture or military culture. Once we understand the VA system and what the military health system's all about, we're going to zero in right on the actual veterans themselves and the culture that brings them to the point of what they are. Some of the military culture is positive, and many vets have positive results. However, many of them have trouble assimilating back into society, and you will see in Module 2, particularly how that brings us to the issues with vets, starting with homelessness, depression, crime, suicide, so forth and so on, and many of these issues we'll be covering as the course moves forward. The same in this particular module. It always starts with learning objectives, learning activities. Go to the overview, and it will give you a nice list of what we can expect to find in this particular module. And again, I highlight all the important parts. So let's go back to the previous page. Again, there are evidence-based scholarly journal articles that I include. There's PowerPoints, which are very powerful. They're full of a lot of good resources and information. The websites. Some of these websites also have embedded links. There's a big focus on military music from the Wounded Warriors. There's a contrast from the different war eras that you will see in this particular website right here. I think you'll enjoy that video. If you didn't really glean what I was trying to get across in class or through the Zoom, this is something I would love for you to link and use in your discussion questions. Again, there's videos that you will find useful, and the same approach. Assignments due this week and completed module checklist. So saying all that, let's go to the assignments, and I will do a quick review one more time. In this particular course, the assignments are focused on 3 discussion questions, which will be in the odd weeks of 2, 4, and 6, and you will also see reflective journal reflective journals that you will be participating in. There will also be 3 reflective journals also on the odd weeks. Both the discussion questions and the reflective journal, I will open this up, will focus on the material that you learned with those 2 previous weeks. For instance, last week was week 1. We are in week 2. So by Monday at 9 p.m., you are to have your reflective journal in that focuses on all the information that you learned, gleaned, read, participated in over the past 2 weeks. The guidelines are right here. There's always a rubric, which you can see here, of the actual elements that I'll be looking for inside your journal. If you learn how to use the rubric, you can pretty much be on point as to what is expected in the assignment, and you will fare well with your grading. I would take some time to make sure you read the guidelines. Even if you've already attempted your journal, review the guidelines and make sure your journal reflects what's required. Also, please note that although this is a journal, it's also essentially looked at as a formal writing paper. So you want to follow all the principles of formal writing, including APA formatting. Okay, so I discussed that. Let's go to the discussions. I want to point out the Ask Your Instructor blog, which is listed in your discussion board, and this is the blog that I would hope that you use to communicate with me all things course related. Of course, if it's a personal nature, feel free to email me or reach out by phone. If you ever need a virtual phone meeting, I'm available. We'll just get together and have a preset time. Come to a common time. Here's the discussions. Apparently, a few people have already participated in discussion 1, and you will see it here. Topic selection. I will discuss that when you hear me talk about the projects, but this is where you will include your topic selection. So let's go back to assignments. So now I discussed that there will be discussion questions 3 and reflective journals 3. So what kind of assignments are required for the course? Well, for this course, of course, you're looking at veterans, care of the veterans. So the only way you can do that is to actually focus on a specific group or several specific groups. And in our case, we will be interviewing, and this is the first project or assignment you'll be responsible for. And this is actually part 1 of the final project. So when we look at this, excuse me, sorry about that. We just have a puppy who needed my attention. Okay, so when we look at this interview with the veterans, this is actually part 1 of your final veteran case study project, which you see here, comprehensive case study. But let's look at this first part. And when you click on this, there are clear guidelines, and you are to interview 2 veterans from different eras. Now, these veterans can be anybody that you know, church member, neighbor, nursing home resident, member of a veterans organization. You can use a family member. That's absolutely fine. It can be a husband, wife, son, daughter, so forth. When you write your interviews out for submission, you want to be sure that you use a pseudonym. Remember, you don't want to have any HIPAA violations. Elements of the interview should include what is right here in your, I believe it's your second module. There is a health history pocket card link. I also included the link here, and when you click on the link, it helps you with the whole interview process. It actually guides you through the entire interview. I would hope that you refer to this link, possibly copy it on or have it on your phone when you're interviewing your veterans. Although you don't have to have an exhaustive list in your interview, this will give you a guideline of what is supposed to be inside your interview, and it will make your interviews so much more powerful that you will glean a ton of information when you're compiling your final project. Remember, your final project really weighs heavily on how well you perform these interviews. And I did include a sample paper for you to look at that you can decide how you want to write out your particular interviews. Be mindful that you should pick 2 veterans from different war eras. So you can pick a veteran from the Iraqi freedom campaigns, the Iraqi Operation Enduring Freedom, You can pick from the Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Gulf War, whatever the situation is. They can't be from two of the same. Different war eras. Unless they did two totally different jobs or had different specific responsibilities that you feel that you can do a good comparison and contrast, that would be okay. So let's just get back to the assignment page. So the interview is a first part of your project. The second part and the final project would be the comprehensive case study. And when you do open the comprehensive case study, again, you will see direct guidelines. And there in that sample paper from the interview paper, it actually tells you how to do part 1 and part 2 that will guide you through the final project. So please make sure you open these guidelines, read them through, and always peruse through the rubrics. As a matter of fact, let me open that sample one more time and to show you exactly what I was talking about. So here's the interview page. Here's the paper. Let's open that for a sample. Here you go. So when you actually look at this page, let's zoom in a little more. You'll see that in red is exactly what you should include in your paper in the first and second paper. This is what your interview should essentially look like. And then when you move on to your final project, you'll be doing the comparison contrast, plan of care, application. So I have it all spelled out for you, so there shouldn't be any confusion as to what you should do. So there is one more assignment, and this will be held on the last day of class, and that is your Veteran in the Media poster presentation project. So what you do for this project, again, here are your clear guidelines. You are to pick a topic. So in that discussion board, you saw topic selection. So you are to pick a topic from in the media, whatever. It can be on anything, but it has to relate to some kind of care of the veteran. And that can be healthcare, education, mental, self-stigma, how they're assimilating in society. It could be family related. It could be issues with the family, military family. So whatever we're covering in the course, anything you find that you would be a support or advocate for a military veteran, that would be acceptable. I also gave you guidelines on what's supposed to be in the slides. When you look at the PowerPoint slides or you're creating your PowerPoint slides, you want to have a title slide, an objective slide, an introduction slide. Implications for nursing. Please read these underneath. I don't need to read them now. And a summary slide. So all in all, you should have possibly 5 slides. You really don't need no more because you're going to do the presentation. You're going to talk your presentation on the last day of class. Make it fun. These are different ideas. I have a little typo there. These are different ideas and concerns. As long as it focuses on veterans' health, it's acceptable for the class. Make it fun. And remember to put your topic in, I believe, by week 4 in the discussion board. Lastly, this is an interactive course, so during class time and in your discussions, let's participate. There's a lot of information to be shared. There's a lot of personal experiences that we can share. Bring your personal experiences to class. I would hope that you do some pre-reading on the module that's upcoming. It helps so much add to the classroom experience. So I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next face-to-face classroom. And as always, any questions, reach out in the Ask Your Instructor blog.